Hi, good evening, students. So, today we are making another online classes only for 1 mark questions. I think it would be useful for CET and average students. So, you could use it. Then I start this 1 mark questions. So, I am very happy by your cooperation. All the students are enjoying the classes and the students are asking the different doubts in the different corners. Today, till today, we have more than 1200 viewers. So in each lessons, it's going to be a remarkable increase 100, 110, 59, 60, 70. So it goes on increasing. Within few days, we are getting the remarkable a benefit from our students. So it's a good sign for learning. So I wish all my students to get the benefit of these questions. So entirely we are going for that all 1 mark questions which are in the set of question papers which are given in the model papers and also board exams. So we start it. Henry's law. So most common questions, and one thing I tell you, if the questions depending upon the numericals, we explain in another videos only the numerical basis. So we go for the definitions and small 1 mark questions that I will try to explain. Just to follow. Now I am going to explain the questions. The first question is Henry's law. What does that Henry's law tell about? So Henry's law tell about solubility of a gas in liquid. Gas liquid ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳಿಸೋದು Henry's law. For example, very common thing, you should remember this one. How it is. Suppose you are taking a soda water. We are buying soda and then drinking soda. ತಗೊಂಡು ಸೋಡಾ ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ. ಸೋಡಾ ಕುಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಮಾರ್ಬಲನ್ನು ತಳ್ಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್. That means some of the gas is going to dissolve in it and then some amount of the gas is just above the surface of that. So the soda preparation and some other soft drinks, this law is applied. So just remember the application of the Henry's law. Solubility of gas in liquid is by Henry's law. So that's the main aspect of Henry's law. So what does Henry's law tell about? The solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas at constant temperature, or you can write like this: at constant temperature the solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to pressure of the gas. So this is a 1 mark questions. Make it very clear. We are trying very hard in thinking that one the students would get benefit. So this is a first question we got, Henry's law. This is very frequent questions and application questions also. Then one more question is there. Name any one concentration term which is independent of temperature. Concentration terms means, what are the concentration terms? Just I explain. Concentration ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, if the sweet is more, the concentration of the sweet is more. If you are preparing juice, ನಾವು ಜ್ಯೂಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸಕ್ಕರೆನೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, so concentration of sugar is more. If you put salt more, the salt concentration is more. That is a concentration. In the reactions also, the concentration term is defined by, there are different aspects: molarity, molality, normality, formality. These concepts are there. But here is the question is like this: name any one concentration term which is independent of temperature. Independent of temperature. So it does not change with the temperature. So that is molality. That's mole fraction. It depends upon the mole fraction. Temperature does not affect. So this is the second question. I think you have got it clear. Then another question is there. It is a very simple question, knowledge based questions for all type of the students. Henry's law, those who work hard, they will get clearly. And if you work hard, all the students would get. But the brilliant student catch it very easily. So give one use of the primary batteries. This is common question. Even the dull students can answer it. So what is the use of the primary batteries? So we have two types of the batteries, primary batteries and secondary batteries. Primary cell and secondary cell. The cell which is used once and it cannot be reused again is called as primary cell. And the secondary cell means which can be used by charging and which can be used again and again. This is called secondary cell, secondary battery. So where do we use primary batteries? Usually in transistors, in watches, clocks. All the cells are called as primary cells. The secondary cells, where do you use secondary cells? ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒಂದು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರ, ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ again and again by charging itself. We are not throwing out that the battery once. After 1 year, 2 year ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದರೆ ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಲ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ವಾಚಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಎನಿವನ್ ವಾಚಸ್. ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲೋದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ easy points. This is a very easy question, knowledge based question. Then the another question is there, what is the unit of rate constant, moles inverse, liters inverse, and what is the order of the reaction? ಇಲ್ಲಿ rate constant ಗೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. When we did the lesson chemical kinetics, ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಯಾವ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಬರುತ್ತಂತ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. once again I tell you, here it is, if the unit is moles inverse and liters seconds inverse. So this is the three types of questions we can expect here. So this is about the second order reaction. Then the order of reaction is second order. So I advise the students to go for units and order of reactions because it's the main question in 1 mark question. Then another question is there, just I go for that. Metals having low melting point. So melting point, regarding the melting point of metals. Metals having low melting point are refined by, here is a metallurgical question. The question comes under metallurgy. The metals which have low melting point, that can be refined. This is a process of that's on refining it comes. So what type of the process do we use? Liquefaction. So we have to convert those metals into liquid. That process called liquefaction process. You have to go for the definitions in the 2 mark questions. What is liquefations clearly? So then come to another one. The refining process of many processes are there. Then here it comes under metals are having low melting point that can be refined by liquefaction process. Then another one. Why is boiling point of ethyl bromide is higher than that of ethyl chloride? Here we are taking the two contents, ethyl bromide and ethyl chloride. Why is the boiling point of ethyl bromide is higher than the boiling point of ethyl chloride? So just remember students, we are taking in this question there are two halides are there. One is chloride and other is bromide. So they tell that one bromide has higher boiling point than the chloride. Ethyl is the same alkyl group is there. Ethyl bromide is higher than the ethyl chloride. This is very clear. One concept of that one, the application question. Ethyl bromide has higher magnitude of van-der-Waals forces. Ethyl bromide has a higher magnitude of van-der-Waals forces due to the larger in size than chloride. That's all. ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ರೋಮೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ van-der-Waals ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ the bromide has higher boiling point. When the van-der-Waals force attraction is more, then we need more energy to dissolve it. So the boiling point is obviously high. But when you take chloride, the size is smaller than the bromide. This is the reason. So then after this one, we are going to study about the reaction question is there, but I am not going to touch it because if I tell that one, you are not getting clearly. So those type of questions can be revived in that what in a sheet or in the transparent sheet or in a paper sheet by drawing that the formulas and by writing that equations we will explain. So this is the another question is there. This is common question in all the papers. Name a vitamin that is stored in liver and adipose tissue. Those who are preparing for NEET, this type of questions are very important, and it is comes under the last chapter, how that the chemistry in our daily life and how do we use the different types of that food chemistry also it comes under. Then name a vitamin that is stored in liver and adipose tissue. So in liver and adipose tissue, what type of the vitamin is there? Here you have to think that one, there are two type of the organelles given, liver and the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is called as what? It is a fat adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, it forms a fat and it gives the strength for the body. So here is it is not the question. Name the vitamins. Here A, D, E and K is you can write anyone. So that's about the vitamin that is stored in liver and adipose tissues. In liver and adipose tissues we find these type of vitamins A, D, E, K and anyone you can write. And in these vitamins, when you learning vitamins, you should learn the diseases which do the vitamin deficiency cause. You learn that also. A vitamin, that's eye sightness, that's a sight effect, that's an eye effect, or the long sight, short sightedness, the total eye effect. Then about D, D is the rickets, and E is again that one of the blood content series, and then K is also the electrolytic balance it will come. So you go for the different questions depending upon the same type of vitamins. So this is about the 10 questions we learned in one paper, but we left one numerical and one not the numerical, that's about related on chemical equation. Then we come to the another equation, another question paper. Those type of questions will be answered in the next classes, those who can be transparent sheet or in the paper. Now we come to that one, the next another questions. You just go through that, how many questions we have learned very clearly. Just a repeat, Henry's law, and again the concentration term, then the primary battery and second battery, and if the unit is given, how to find out the order, and metals are having the low melting point can be refined by what process, and why the boiling point of ethyl bromide is more than that ethyl chloride, and the vitamin which is present in liver and adipose. Just to give answer, all the answers we have. So this is about in first paper. Then we go for another paper. Just this is the first one. This is a trial method. You just go on the first paper, 1 mark questions. It will be in my channel. Please go through.